everybody, and welcome back for part 2 of chicken fricassee and also our roasted red pepper chicken. So while we were gone, we finished off this delicious chicken in the pan. I let the chicken cook down, and then I removed it. Then I added some heavy cream and swirled it in and put the chicken pieces back in. I temped them to make sure that they were at 165 degrees, right? And now it's just plating. I cooked up a little bit of brown rice. You can put a thigh and a leg. Maybe another thigh in there. And some delicious sauce over the top. Soak right into that rice. And then if you wanted to sprinkle a little parsley for some color, you could do that. But you really don't want to influence the taste too much here. This is a very delicate sauce. You want all the nuances to come out. Nutmeg, the onion. Again, there's no caramelization. It's not a deep forward flavor. It's more of a relaxed, creamy texture and flavor. So that is our fricassee. Okay. So that's going to lead us right into the roasted red pepper chicken. And this one, maybe a little bit easier for you. Maybe not, I don't know. But probably one that is a little more modern, right? A little more contemporary. So with the chicken pieces that I had left over that were the breast, okay, if you remember from the previous video, right, I had the breast with the wing piece still attached and the skin still on it, right? And that is sometimes referred to as an airline breast, okay, and served, and you serve it that way with the wing still attached and the bone nice and smooth and not broken. Well, I took the pieces that were left and I took that off, and then I dredged them in flour, okay? And then right into a nice hot saute pan I go. Move this one out of the way. Go right into our saute pan for our red pepper chicken. I have a little heavy cream over here that I'm going to heat up as well. Just a little olive oil in this pan. We're not using butter. Flavor goes a little bit better with the ingredients that we have. Now I already pre-browned a few pieces of chicken, and then I put those in the oven. Okay, so for the magic of video, these will be done before the other ones are. So nice brown color, the flour gives it a nice little coating to it. So those will be done in a minute. But again, this is another version of a pan sauce. So I'm going to do everything right in this pan. So when I put this chicken in, I get a little bit of a sizzle on there, right? Unlike the last dish, we do want color. We do want to get a little browning, like you saw in the pan that's in the oven. But we still want to build that flavor inside of this pan. All the items that we cook are going to go in this same pan so that we can keep building on those flavors. Again, if you remember, that's called a la minute or at the minute sauce, right? So we still have our fresh chicken stock. We have some white wine. We have some roasted red peppers. Okay, some roasted red peppers. We have some tomato concasse, right? And tomato concasse is simply a skinned and seeded tomato. Roasted red pepper, we blacken the outside where the skin is, rub a little olive oil on there and blacken it, and the skin slides off. And then we can julienne that up or dice it up. And that's going to give us a nice smooth texture and a little bit of a smoky flavor as well to our finished pepper. So again, in this dish, all of our ingredients we want to have kind of nice and soft and subtle. All right. So you can see we're getting a little color here, and the leftover flour. That's all going to be part of making our sauce when we're ready. Okay. So again, once I get that chicken breast nice and brown on the outside, not worried about internal temperature, just that nice brown color. All right. Now I'm going to pop it in the oven. It's going to come out and it's going to look like that, right? Nice, beautiful golden brown color, all right? So once I've started that, then I can start building my sauce flavors, right? So I'm going to take my onion and my garlic that I diced up and minced, and I'm going to start cooking that a little bit. Now on this one, I can get some color. I'm not worried about that nice kind of smooth, light color that we had in the fricassee. Now we can get a little caramelization and a little color development and bring bring out those sugars a little bit in this dish, okay? So we're gonna let that saute just a bit, and then we're gonna deglaze that pan with some white wine and a little bit of fresh chicken stock. Again, the same chicken stock we used in the fricassee, okay? If you're afraid to toss at home, don't be, okay? Forward and back, not up and down, forward and back, okay? A good way to practice this, I tell all my students, is put some Legos in a cold pan that has no heat and just practice flipping them over until you get it down. That way you have no danger of heat. All right, now that we've got some color in there, we're gonna add a few ladles full of chicken stock. Okay. And a couple ounces of white wine. And those beautiful roasted red peppers we talked about, right? It is roasted red pepper chicken, so you have lots of those. Some tomato concasse, skinned and seeded tomato. And we're gonna let this cook out a little bit, let those flavors all meld together. Nice and delicious. Lots of color in this dish. Unlike the fricassee, that is a little bland, a little earth tony, right? This one has lots of vibrant colors to it. Now in the meantime, while I've done this, I've also sauteed some mushrooms, okay? So mushrooms are gonna be part of the dish, but for this, they're gonna be kind of a garnish. They're gonna go around the outside or on the top of the finished chicken. And then we have our heavy cream that I've started to heat up, because you want your cream hot if you're going to add it to a sauce. And that's going to go in to help finish this. Whenever you add heavy cream to a sauce and you start to cook it, it's going to thicken a little bit on its own just because of the fat that is in the cream. Same way as if you want to make whipped cream, you can't use milk for it, there's not enough fat in it, you have to use heavy cream. So when you agitate it enough and that cream starts to bind together, the molecules are moving fast, and you get that thickness, it's kind of similar when you heat it up. The molecules, again, really start to speed up. And that cream, besides good flavor, gives us that texture that we want. We want what we call, some of us, if you've already been in my classes, you should know this one, right? When a sauce coats a spoon, it's called nappe, right? Nappe. So it should coat the spoon, yet run off of it. It shouldn't be clumpy and lumpy. It should be nice and smooth. All right, so as that simmers just a little bit, the other ingredients we have to use over here, just a little bit of Parmesan cheese and some fresh sliced scallion or green onion, right? Same thing, just different name. And those are gonna go over the top kind of like a garnish as well. I'm gonna move my chicken breast out of the way. And this other little piece that I have here, just a little also left over from the whole chicken, is some skin. And I just deep fried it when I cooked up the chicken wings for a little snack. So I deep fried it, it's called a crackler. So sometimes this is used as a garnish on a dish. You know, you can cut it into strips, you can cut up into little smaller pieces, or you can have just a nice whole piece like that. And it's a garnish and nice and crispy and delicious. Not necessarily very healthy, but very delicious. Right? So that is what a crackler is. So now that my sauce is really starting to meld together here and my cream is nice and hot, I'm going to swirl that in. Right? Swirl that heavy cream in there. And again, maybe not the healthiest sauce in the world. Lots of veggies, but a little bit of fat in that cream. But we are using chicken breasts. We are using lots of vegetables. So it's also not the most unhealthy thing. Somewhere in the middle. Right? You have to have an even balance. So you can already see it starting to thicken as I add that in there. It's almost coating already as we speak. So, my spoon over here. So as this heats up, you can see that cream start to thicken fairly quickly. So now all I have to do is take that chicken breast out of the oven that we've been holding in there and letting finish a little bit. We're going to take that out. We're going to put it right back in the sauce to finish. Kind of a similar step to what we did with the fricassee. Add those juices in there too. You don't want to lose those. And that's going to finish cooking the chicken all the way through if it's not already. Right? And our temperature needs to be 165. And if it needs to be 165, we take our probe thermometer, and where do we go? Well, we go to the biggest piece of meat that we have. This chicken was, the breast was from another chicken. And we go to the thickest, biggest piece at the deepest point of it, and we check the temperature there, because if that's 165, everything else is 165. And right now we are at 161. That means we got about 2 seconds left there for it to hit that temperature. We have nice bubbling hot sauce. All right, looks good. Hopefully it looks good on camera. It certainly smells good here. And that is nice and done. Again, look at that, how that cream just started to thicken up just enough. Again, we don't want it super thick. We want it to run and coat. So what I mean by coating the spoon? Coats that spoon, but it runs off, right? Just the type of texture that we're looking for. Now I can turn that off. And now we're gonna plate it up, all right? So for plating, and this will be another later video, I made some ramen noodles. I made some whole wheat ramen. So we're gonna put this chicken over that. So I'm just gonna take a couple of the smaller breasts, place those on there. Oh, yummy. All right, then I'm gonna take some of this delicious sauce. It has the onions and the peppers and the cream. A little bit over the top of this noodles as well. Not enough to coat that all up. So we've kind of done a little fusion cooking here, right? Ramen noodles and a roasted red pepper chicken. I thought of doing that way. I'm gonna get a little cleaning of the plate here. Always want to make sure that your plate is presentable. Then we're going to take a little bit of scallion. We're going to take a little bit of Parmesan cheese. But since that's not going to be cooked, and especially in today's world, but always in the kitchen anyway, gotta make sure we got a glove on, right? Because it's going directly to be eaten after contact. So we're going to take a little scallion and sprinkle that on there. Then we're going to dust a little bit of Parmesan. Oh, looking good. And then don't forget our mushrooms. Okay, you're gonna take a little bit of mushroom as well. We're gonna put that in there. A little added garnish. And garnish doesn't necessarily mean a sprig of parsley or thyme that you have to throw on a plate. Actually, traditionally, garnish is something that you add to the dish that is meant to be eaten as part of that dish, like in soups. The chicken or the vegetables should be added to the broth at service, not sitting in a pot for hours. So look at all those flavors that we have together, a nice glossy shine that it has to it, the beautiful heavy cream, the colors of the peppers and the scallions. So this is ready to eat. So I hope you try this at home. It's not really that hard. The recipes are posted for you, and we will see you soon.